Do you hear people kind of indiscriminately talk about the importance of core exercises? And I do my core work, and hearing different things about the importance of the core, whether it be for back pain or for shoulder issues or whatever it is going on, but you don't exactly know what that means. A lot of people use those phrases but don't really describe what they are. If that is something that you have some questions about or are interested in, then this video series is for you. My name is Biagio Mazza. I'm a physical therapist at Elite Physical Therapy, and this month's series we're going to talk about core exercises, the importance of core exercises, what they actually do, what is the core, and why it's important for your spine, your body, and what it can mean for your body if you have a weak core. So in today's video, we're going to talk about what is the core and why is it important. In future videos, we're going to address what can happen when the core kind of goes bad and what specifics you can do to help strengthen the core. So let's talk a little bit about what the core actually is. Unfortunately, it's a term that gets thrown around all the time, but it's one that I don't particularly like very much at all. It implies that you've got this set of muscles many people think of as just the abdominals, or maybe they think of as the glutes or the back or some area there. The core itself is a term that really implies globally about the stabilizers of the spine and the pelvis. That includes the spine and the neck, it includes the shoulder blades, it includes the low back, it includes the pelvis, it includes the hips. There really are very few muscles that are not part of the of the core. So let's talk specifically about the core in relation to low back pain, just to kind of narrow it down for our purposes today. So in the spine, okay, the lower portion of the spine, there are 5 vertebrae that are in the lumbar spine. Lumbar spine is basically just means the spine and the low back. Underneath, this little triangle represents your tailbone, which is the kind of the triangular structure that's at the base. There are 5 vertebrae here. When you hear someone talk about L4-5, you hear them talk about an L3-4, that's what they're talking about, is the segment between these vertebrae. Okay? In between the vertebrae are the discs. The discs are structures that create a shock absorber between the bones of the vertebra. Okay? So the deal is that these are essentially no different than any other stack of blocks. We have the blocks that sit on top of the base. There are ligaments which connect bone to bone, which help form some stability. Okay? There is the connection and the pressure that is around the area just from the stacking itself. But one of the things that really controls the ability of your spine not to move too much is your core musculature. So in this case, if we have the person, if this represents their nose, is pointing this way, the front of the spine is this way, so it would be a person facing this way. The front of the spine is controlled by the abdominals. The back of the spine is controlled by the back muscles. Specifically, there is a set of muscles that kind of connect to form what's called the thoracolumbar fascia, which is not important, but it gives us kind of a front and back portion. Underneath the bottom of the spine is the pelvic floor musculature, and up on top is the diaphragm. So these 4 areas comprise the force control around the spine. If any of these 4 areas are disrupted because they're either too tight, too weak, or not firing correctly, you have a potential disruption in the stack of blocks, which is very unstable inherently, and we create a control issue by creating any of those dysfunctions in those 4 areas there. So that's kind of what the core is and why it's so important. In future videos, we're going to talk about what happens when you actually have a weak core, what kind of injuries can occur, and we will talk about some specific exercises that you can do to help improve your core. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you learned a little bit more about the core and maybe some specifics that you hadn't known before. If you are interested in learning more about your specific body and about what's going on with how your core is functioning, and you want to come in and do a free consult with me at Elite, just give us a call, 816-941-2550, or email me, biagio@eliteptkc.com.